Hi guys, Ilumiknight here with another narrated Age of Empires 2 game. This is another 2 versus 2 in Blackforest. This time I'm playing as the Aztecs with my ally PGGs playing as the Koreans. And we're playing against Big Mac, who's the Byzantines, and Plum Bum, who's Franks. So civs were on random, so we got what I got, and I got Aztecs this time. So, a couple things to remember for early game is to always make sure that your town center is always working. And this means that it either has to be creating a villager, researching technology, or advancing to the next age. You should never have it idle. And the sign of a really good player is one that can minimize how much his town center is idle really well. So the settings for this game, obviously 200 population, random civs, fast speed. The visibility was explored, but seeing as this is a recorded game, I flipped the fog of war off so you guys can see what's going on, if anyone's trying anything sneaky or anything. And I have it on view lock so you can see where I was moving the screen around when I was actually playing this game a couple months back. So, to make sure your town center is always active, one thing you can always do is to take your villagers, select them that are on the sheep, and then right-click on your town center to force them to drop off the food early so that you can always have enough food for that next village. Yeah, see, I did it right there. So you always have enough food for the next villager. Yeah, after I put 6 or 7 villagers on sheep so I have a steady food source, then I start going for my lumber camp. Yeah, you can see my ally PGG, he's talking about how Big Mac will rush. I probably should have taken him more seriously because it turns out that he actually did rush this game. Yeah, I back at the time of this game, I hadn't played that many games with Big Mac. This is probably my second game with Big Mac, even though I've played a lot of games with him. So these are just some people I happen to know on Voobly. So after I get my wood supply going, I put down a house close to the boar I'm going to hunt. Now, it's not entirely necessary to hunt boars. I mean, you can definitely get by without them if you're really fast. It's just they really, really help. Yeah, and then after I'm working on that house, I send one villager to the forage bushes. And pretty soon, she's going to make a mill right next to those bushes. Yep, so you shoot the boar twice, and you walk back to the town center. Why you want to shoot the boar only twice and not more is because the boar will probably kill your villager if you stay too long. And if you only shoot him once, the boar will get bored and turn around. So I have my villagers drop off the food before I have them shoot the boar, because if you don't have them force drop off the food, I mean, the way that food's handled in Age of Empires 2 is kind of weird. Obviously, sheep meat is different than boar meat, so when you have your villagers attack the boar and they're holding sheep meat, the moment that they gather some of the boar meat, all the sheep meat that they were holding will disappear. And that sucks, because he'll be wasting quite a bit of food, actually. Not many people know that. So it definitely pays. And obviously force dropping off the food from the boar is nice. Aztecs are kind of weird because you get 15 of each resource at a time instead of 10. So it requires a lot of more forced drop-offs early on. Yeah, you can see I have to keep doing that all the time. Click on my villager, right-click in the town center. Yep. Yeah, and have another. Yeah, I've sent up another villager right now to go get the other boar, it looks like. Yep. There we go. And no, I wasn't playing on such small resolution during the actual one, but it just looks so much nicer for YouTube if I'm not zoomed out to the max res. So the boar should get here any minute now. Yep, here comes the boar. Yep, and I take the villagers off the other boar, and then we get some slowdown, and the boar should get taken down in a second. Yep. That's a little further away from the town center than I'd want, but that's okay, as long as the villager's alive. So about what I said earlier about it's not entirely necessary hunting the boar. If you can, always do it. But if you're not that good at hunting the boar, so that you'll end up losing a villager or something when you're trying to hunt the boar, don't do it. Just don't do it. If every time you hunt a boar you lose a villager, it's not worth it. You know, the extra food isn't worth the villagers that you've lost, because losing a villager really does set you back, because Losing a villager is essentially like having your town center idle for like 30 seconds or however long it takes for a villager to be created. So that sets you back quite a bit if you really care. You can see that on the mini-map that my ally PGG, he walled up early. I tend to do a lot of games with him on my team, and one of the problems he tends to have is that when he rushes, or which is known as attacking early in the game, you know, before Imperial Age, is he forgets to make villagers. And the important thing is that if you're not in the Imperial Age, that town center should be pumping out villagers non-stop. Like, it should not stop for any reason. Even if you're actually being attacked too, that's an important thing, is because you gotta replace your losses. For every villager that you lose, and for every soldier you lose, you must replace it as soon as possible. Or you'll fall behind, and you know. Because the nice thing about Age of Empires 2 compared to a lot of other strategy games, and there's gigantic room for comebacks in these type of games, is like you can lose everything, and as long as you have one villager and a friend, you can build all the way back up and still win. And I've done many games like that where I've lost everything and then I've built back up and I've won the game for some reason. Yeah, I got housed right there. That is my biggest problem ever. I always forget to build houses, so you gotta be watching that pop thing at the top. Do not be like me. Do not forget about the population. Oh yeah, we see some scout combat going on here. You know, the Eagle Warrior is actually stronger than the Scout Cavalry in the Dark Age, but weaker than the Scout Cavalry in the Feudal Age. It's just silly. If Big Mac didn't get the first strike on me, obviously I would have won that engagement, but I'm forced to run away now. Ah, poor Big Mac, he's not watching his scouts. Shame on him. Yeah, be careful about aggroing your scout into the enemy base, or you might just lose it. Yeah, my ally is telling me to wall myself right now, and by that he means to build a wall around my base. Which in Blackforest games, there's no rules in this particular one, so obviously walling is very good. It would really suck if someone rushed you. So I'm sending my villager up to go build some palisade walls. Obviously palisade walls are pretty flimsy, and believe it or not, houses actually make really nice walls. So you can use those as walls too. And I'm being attacked again. Yep, and down goes his scout. Stabbed it with my villager. Yep, you're seeing I'm also walling down the middle lane. Yeah, this is a very strangely generated Blackforest one. Yep, and PGG had a great idea, that we are going to boom for once. And that means that we're going to wait till Imperial Age, no one's going to rush, and we're going to build a super strong economy, and oh god, here comes Big Mac, and he's rushing me. I was not prepared for this. I mean, who rushes with militia on Blackforest? Like, really? Apparently he does, and I lost my villager. Oh god, yeah. So that really sucked. I was definitely not ready for that in the slightest. So, a good Age of Empires player is willing to adapt to any situation, no matter how stupid. And you have to be ready for anything. Like, really, it's Blackforest. Why are there militia everywhere? So I decided that I was going to just pretend like I was never... Wait, yeah, I'm pretty sure I pretend like it's never... Like, I wasn't being attacked. And yeah, you can see I'm using houses as walls right now. Yep, trying to protect my lumber camp. Because wood early on is so important. Never lose your wood supply. Like, you have to protect your wood. Yes, you must protect your wood. You heard me. Your wood is very important, and you can't do anything without your wood. So what you gotta do is you gotta protect it. And what I did is I covered mine in buildings so that he can't get to my lumberjacks. And I'm trying to force him into the line of fire of my town center. Obviously it didn't work so well, so it looks like my villagers have to put that karate training to good use and go stab some guys. The problem with that is that when my villagers are stabbing his troops, they're not chopping wood. That's bad. That's bad. I might run out of wood if that continues. So you got to make sure that your villagers are working, and that's why rushing early on is so successful. I mean, you might think that, oh, what can a militia do, right? You know, they're weaker than a villager. They suck and they cost like $1 million early on. But they actually prove so useful because when they hit a villager, that villager stops working, and yeah, that could really come in. The money could really come in handy. So I decided, in response to his drush or Dark Age rush, that I was going to continue with my fast castle and go for a clue. And I was going to start making some Eagle Warriors. Now we will see how well that turns out for me. Eagle Warriors are very, very nice, especially against Flushing type units, the Feudal Age army that he has. There's really nothing that they have besides man-at-arms that can actually fight an Eagle Warrior. So PGG sends his scout over here to help me, which is nice. Yeah, skirmishers are definitely not very strong. Alright, so I'm about to get to the Castle Age a little slowly because Drush caught me by surprise, but I'm going to start pumping out those Eagle Warriors. Yeah, I asked for a little bit of gold, so it really pays to have an ally in this case. So with that little bit of gold, I will absolutely dominate him with my Eagle Warriors. And hopefully, you know, I can just win the game right here. Because, yeah, see, there, that 350 gold. Aw, Big Mac is in deep trouble now. Because when I start getting the Eagle Warriors out, what's he going to do? He's not walled up either, actually. Yeah, I lost a lot of villagers. Ooh, this is not good. That is not good. I should not be losing that many villagers. But yeah, I'm still doing fine then. And if you click on a military building and you right-click on the same building, then the units will spawn inside them and you can release them all at once. It's a very, very good strategy. Because if I send my Eagle Warriors in one at a time, they're all just going to die. That's not good. So... Yep, waiting for those Eagle Warriors to come out, and he's still putting lots and lots of pressure on me. The important thing in these AoE 2 games is to keep the pressure on. And, oh gosh, yeah. See, this is bad because I had to pull all my villagers off, but now I'm going to put down a town... I'm trying to put down a town center, but he's not letting me. What a bad person. So obviously if I put down a town center right there, there's absolutely nothing you can do. Like, early game combat is so important that you avoid the line of town center fire, like, no matter what you do. I mean, obviously late game, it doesn't scare paladins. Nothing scares paladins. But, you know, early game, you know, the town center is just so strong that you have to stay away from it. So I'm putting up a town center next to my wood supply, which is absolutely crucial that I make sure that I keep that up or I'm going to lose. And there's absolutely nothing you can do with me, against me with a second town center right there next to my wood supply. That effectively nullifies his flush. Yeah, and I built a new mining camp back there. And I walled up. He's not sending in those villagers anytime soon. Yep, and now he's trying to wall up, but I'm going to attempt to put a stop to that and send in my Eagle Warriors, who walk way too slowly. They need to move their ass. Come on. Ah. Yep. And I take out a couple of his troops. Yep. And he's losing skirmishers. So my base is completely safe now. And that drush was a pain in the butt, but it's okay because I'm fine now. And it looks like we're doing fine. And see, the downside of an unsuccessful rush like that is if you look at Big Mac's score, he's falling behind. Because he invested too much money in troops, and too much money in troops to be more specific, that didn't do enough. Because I'm still kicking right now. I've got 2 town centers up, and I'm working right now. So when you hit the Castle Age, a general tip is to make sure that you build at least one more town center. Under any circumstance. There's not a single instance where you should not make at least another town center in the Castle Age. It's just so important because town centers provide protection, they provide a drop-off point for every resource, and they can create villages. Like, they're the most amazing building ever. So you gotta use them.